like to check out and see which one you would like to get to eat. I bake them here every morning. Fresh, everything, all the ingredients are fresh, and all the items that are baked are fresh. They aren't like 2-3 days old. They're maximum of 10 hours old, and then we just donate them. Now here we have our baking station. We need to stock up on coal because we don't have any. And here we have our little campfire that acts as a furnace, but we use that to bake the potatoes. Now here are all of our ingredients. All these eggs, they're fresh, and all these milk buckets are freshly squeezed out of cows. So everything here isn't older than, I'd say, 3 days. And they all come from my garden. Yep, they all come from my garden. That chicken and this chicken right here, they play a big part of my bakery, as they are the ones who have laid thousands of eggs for me in a really short period of time. They're magical chickens, and I don't even know how they do it, but I really do appreciate them. They are all grass-fed and cage-free. Well, of course they're grass-fed, but they are cage-free. As you see, they're just roaming around the mountains, and then when they lay eggs, I just collect them because they lay multiple at a time. Now, all of this wheat is also grown in my garden. I have a massive wheat farm in my garden, and also all the sugar is grown in my garden because I also have a sugar cane growing on the little lake I have, which is all good because you guys know that it isn't from a larger corporation, but it is from my garden. All of these cakes, they are freshly baked. All these cookies are also freshly baked along with the pies. We have a lot of pies and a lot of cookies, but we don't have many cakes because cakes are harder to bake. Now here we have our baked potatoes, which are baked over there, which is pretty common. All these potatoes are also grown in my garden, along with the wheat that is used to make this bread. We have a lot of bread, and it is no older than 2 days old. So all this bread here is fresh, and it is grown in my garden, the wheat. So I don't have to worry about it coming from weird places. And here we have enchanted golden apples, which don't really have anything to do with baked items, but it is grown in my garden, and they are really, really, really rare. These notch apples, they just grow in my garden because I randomly planted a notch apple seed in my garden, and they started growing ever since, which is really rare because you need to have really good soil for them to grow. They are really, really pricey. Now here is the cake. The cake is 1 emerald. Yep, it is pretty expensive because it is 1 emerald, but if you think about it, it is one of the best cakes in the country. So 1 emerald isn't even that bad of a price, but it can sound really nerve-wracking to hear 1 emerald for a cake. But it is your choice to buy one and spend 1 emerald on it. Now pie is pretty common. Now pie is pretty cheap. It is way less than the cake because we all love cake more than pie. But the pie is 10 gold, so it isn't that bad, but you have to keep in mind that everything here is grown in my garden, and it is all fresh. It is all fresh. It isn't from a mass, how do you say it, exploitation of chickens and cows, where they're all in cages and they just live to squirt out milk and lay eggs. No, as you see, those are the chickens that give me all the eggs. So they are cage free and they just live the normal life. The potatoes, they are grown in my garden also. Everything here is grown in my garden. They do come in a kind of hefty price, 2 emeralds, but you get 5 of them. And one potato should last you for a meal. So in 2 days you can eat not even 5 potatoes and you'll be full, which is pretty good. So you have potatoes for a while. Now here we have cookies. For 4 emeralds you get 10 of them, but the cookies are so good. I recommend the most the cookies and the cake because they are made with a super sweet, nice sugar that is grown in my garden, which you won't find anywhere else. The sugar is just so natural, but it tastes so good. It has the natural sweetness that everybody wants. But, you know, if you ever tried growing sugar in your backyard, it is really hard because to nail that natural, sweet taste, it is really hard. But yeah, for 4 emeralds you get 10 cookies. And, like I said, if you buy a cake, I'll pitch in 5 cookies. Now for bread is pretty cheap. I like to give it away. It is 2 emeralds for 15 pieces, and bread should last you for a while. It stays fresh, but we don't sell bread that is older than 2 days. So 15 pieces should be lasting pretty well for a week. And it is 2 emeralds. It isn't too expensive for 15 pieces. But, like I said, 2 emeralds is still a lot, but you have to keep in mind how it is grown. So that's what adds to the price. And last but not least, we have our famous Notch apple. The Notch apple is 20 emeralds. Yes, 20 emeralds. It is a lot. 20 emeralds is a lot to spend on a food item. I don't recommend buying this, even though I should be telling you to buy stuff. But I don't recommend you buying a Notch apple, as it is just cool to have, and they're super rare. But 20 emeralds for a food item is never worth it. Never. But it is cool to have and to look at. And they never expire, which is really good, but 20 emeralds is a lot. Okay, so I see that you would like 2 cakes and pumpkin pie. Well, I'll do that right away. Great choice on the cakes, by the way. Really, you will be amazed when you just slightly put a piece of cake on your tongue. You'll fall in love with it and you'll come back nearly every week to buy cake. Thank you. Here you go, sir. Your 2 cakes, your pumpkin pie, and your complimentary 5 cookies. You will love the cookies too. Thank you so much for coming, sir. I really do appreciate it. Stop by. Be safe. If you want to chill here, you can, because the conditions aren't really good for you to walk back home. Yeah. Thank you so much, though. If you would like something else, just let me know. I can give you a cup of tea or a cup of coffee while you wait.